24 minutes after 12 o'clock. A valuable piece of art went missing from the Canada Games Centre this weekend. At some point early Saturday morning, a thief or thieves made off with an intricate antler carving. There was also a power outage around the same time. Police are reviewing security cameras, but the person most surprised might be the artist who crafted the work. Shane Wilson spent 3 years carving the piece he calls Yukon Seasons, and we've reached him on the line from BC. Hello there.
Hi, Nancy.
Can you tell us what went through your mind when you heard the news that your artwork had been stolen?
Well, my wife, Miranda, I guess, heard the news on CBC this morning and gave me a shout, woke me up. I was, shocked, to say the very least. Terrible sense of loss. The piece, as you say, took 3 years. It was kind of my legacy, I guess, left it behind in the Yukon as a donation for all Yukoners, dedicated to Ruth McCullough for her phenomenal contributions to the arts in Yukon. But, strangely, I was a little conflicted. I mean, I was struck by a sense of loss and shock, but also a strange, curious sense of wonder that someone or a group of people would have stolen a work of mine in such an intentional, planned way. I guess they've touched nothing else in the building. They came after that, and that's what they wanted. So in a way, it's like a backhanded compliment.
Mm-hmm. They had their sights set on the prize, and the prize was your carving.
Yeah, that's so it would seem. I guess they say in the art world that you know you've made it when someone steals your work.
Uh-huh. So is that...
So, I don't know if that bodes well or not, but anyway, there you go.
Well, did you ever think that any piece of your work would be the target of theft?
No, not at all.
And what is the value of this carving? And I suppose this is, of course, I guess what it was estimated at.
Yeah, the donated value was $50,000.
Mm-hmm. The name of and is that your most expensive piece of work so far?
Yeah, so far to date. Yeah.
Now, the name of the work is Yukon Seasons, and many people, of course, here and in the Yukon have seen the massive moose antlers on display at the Game Centre. But for those who haven't, can you describe it for us?
Well, it's if anyone is familiar with the way antlers are mounted, it would be called a European mount, in the sense that you can see it's the full skull and antlers with the skull exposed as bone. And the whole piece is carved, and it's called Yukon Seasons because it represents the 4 seasons of the Yukon. And so on one side, on the top, there's winter with some snowflakes carved around the edge and trees with snow on them, and a moose and a wolf kind of engaged in the sort of circle where the moose or the wolf tries to get behind the moose, and the moose is looking, and that's the sort of thing that happens in the wintertime. And below that is spring, which I represented by sort of abstract kind of angular shapes for ice breaking up and water flowing, with a sandhill crane carved in that portion. And then on the other side, on the top, is summer, with a grizzly sow and her cub walking through the buckbrush with mountains in the background and the sun, which is ever present in the summertime. And below that, another grizzly catching a salmon in a waterfall. And then in the center on the skull, I carved a raven representing all 4 seasons together.
And it is a very unique piece of art. What kind of speculation do you think, where do you think it might wind up?
I have no idea. I mean, it's flabbergasting to believe that someone would actually steal it. It's so big. Mm-hmm. Where will they put it? I mean, obviously someone had some idea where they were going to put it or what they were going to do with it, and so I have no idea. It's anybody's guess.
I guess it would be difficult too if somebody had considered that they want to sell it on the black market of art. It's because it is so unique. It would be obvious, to be identified.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else like it. I mean, every antler carving is unique. There's no question about that. But because of the shapes of the antlers, they're never the same. But there's nothing else like this out there. So I don't know. I think they'd have a difficult time.
Sorry?
I was just going to say, my guess is they took it because they wanted it. But you never know. I mean, they might have thought they could sell it. Who knows?
Okay, they took it because they wanted it. But again, that will be hard to hide, I suppose, in the Yukon. Anybody who came to your home would be able to see it.
You would think so.
And would recognize it.
Yes, you would think so. Like I say, I mean, I'm flabbergasted. I have no idea what was going through their minds. But there you go.
Well, I suppose, as you say, the old adage, you've arrived when somebody steals your work. And as you say, it's somewhat of a backhanded compliment to you, but although, on the other hand, it has robbed the people in the Yukon of the opportunity to see it and appreciate it.
Well, of course, and that is, it was tongue-in-cheek, and I was saying that. But, I mean, it's, I think, my opinion personally, is it is a tremendous loss to the Yukon and to the art collection, and I'd like to see it recovered if possible. I'd like to see them give it back.
Do you think there would be any way to sort of allow them to do that, sort of anonymously?
I have no idea. I suppose they could always leave it somewhere and tell someone, and then they could go and get it. But you'd just like to see it returned to the people here? Of course. I mean, the idea is that it's meant to be there for people to enjoy forever. So it would be nice to get it back. Yes. It's something that should be shared. Yeah, I agree. Okay, well, thanks for speaking with us today, and we hope it will be recovered at some point, as I say, and as you are obviously aware, it's kind of difficult to hide a piece of work like this. Yeah. Just a quick point. My daughter actually is familiar with Facebook and all that kind of thing. She started a group called Stolen Art ... Help, which has pictures of the piece, and if anybody has any tips, they can probably go there. But they could also call the RCMP. That would also be great. Right. Okay. Yes, there could be anonymous tips given either way. Yeah. Thanks for speaking with us today. Yeah, you betcha, Nancy. Bye-bye. All righty. Bye-bye. Shane Wilson is a sculptor who lives and works in the Yukon. We reached him today in British Columbia. We're going to check in with the markets in just a moment.